Hi, it's Panda Movies here. Today, I'm going to explain the Filipino horror movie called Pagpag. Siyam Na Buhay. Warning, there are spoilers ahead. Enjoy the video. The story opens with Zarina visiting the funeral of her boyfriend Joseph Maurice, who hanged himself. The relationship of the couple was not accepted by Joseph's family, so Zarine was driven away by his mother, insisting that her son died because of her. Defeated, she leaves the venue and proceeds to go home. As she arrives home, her sister asks her if she did the pagpag before heading home, but she does not and explains that she does not believe in superstition. Afterwards, she is suddenly haunted by the ghost of her dead boyfriend that managed to follow her home. The scene shifts to Cedric and his friends, Hannah, Ashley, Justin, and Rico, whose journey the story revolves around. The group enter a horror house for a fun night out, but a group of perverted men assault Hannah, so Cedric fights for her, beating up the guys. The news of the incident makes its way to Cedric's dad, and out of anguish and disappointment, scolds him, grounding him and taking his car keys away. What his dad did not know, however, is that he gave him fake car keys, so, as soon as his dad leaves the house, Cedric escapes and drives the highways until he almost runs over a girl, Leni. They fight and Leni unknowingly loses her charm bracelet in Cedric's car. Making the most out of his escape, Cedric invites his friends to a party on the hill. The rest of the night was pretty chill with the group enjoying drinks over a bonfire, just what Cedric needed to get away from the troubles at home. As they were heading home, however, the peace was broken by Hannah, who was trying to pressure Cedric into confirming their relationship, but he confesses that he does not really have feelings for her and is not ready to commit to a relationship. This infuriates Hannah, prompting her to throw a rock at Cedric, wounding his shoulder that caused him to lose control, and drives up until morning, where they come upon the funeral of Roman, arranged with by his distressed wife, Lucy. Lucy is helped with the arrangements by Leni and her uncle Dencio, and his friend Marcelo. Seeing each other for the first time after the near accident, Cedric and Leni begin to argue, but Lucy intervenes and invites Cedric and his group inside her home. Leni and her uncles continue their task in arranging the funeral, while Cedric and his group settle inside the house. While Leni and Dencio are setting up near the coffin, Marcelo sweeps the room. However, Eva, Lucy's sister, arrives and scolds Marcelo, telling him that it was a bad superstition to sweep the floor in funerals. That was only the beginning, as the guests, one by one, violated superstitions. Hannah dropped tears on the coffin when she saw Cedric holding Leni's hand. Rico, who was with Hannah when it happened, immediately wiped the coffin with a handkerchief and broke another superstition upon doing so. Another one of their friends, Justin, violated the superstition by stealing some bread from the funeral, while Ashley looked at her reflection in the mirror. Cedric violated the superstition by attending the funeral with a wound. Dencio, who stole the money below the coffin, and Leni and everyone else who did not do the pagpag, an act of dusting off oneself after a funeral to avoid evil spirits following you home, so you must go somewhere else first to redirect the spirit. Leni and her uncles disregard the pagpag and immediately head home after finishing the arrangements. She finds her stepbrother Mac seeing apparitions and drawing 9 figures with a number 8. The first one to face the consequences of violating the superstition is Marcelo. He is killed by a malevolent entity while sweeping outside. Upon discovering the remains of Marcelo, Dencio immediately puts the blame on Leni for not observing pagpag and tells her that the spirit is coming back for the rest of them. Dencio explains to Leni how dangerous Roman's spirit is and how he will stop at nothing to kill them all. He reveals that Roman and Lucy once had a child that unfortunately died. Heartbroken and desperate, Roman makes a pact with the demons to bring back his son's life, but on the condition that he had to kill 9 people. After committing 9 murders, Roman goes back home to find his son alive inside the coffin. However, the news of Roman striking a deal with the devil had already spread, and the rest of the people in the barrio tried to burn his house down. This act led to the loss of Roman and his son, Emmanuel. On the other hand, heartbroken because of Cedric's rejection, Hannah decides to commit suicide, but she stops when she sees a shadow. Thinking it was Cedric, she follows the shadow, but her phone suddenly rings, and it turns out to be Cedric telling her he was on his way. Realizing that the shadow belonged to someone else, Hannah panics, but the demonic form gouges out her eyes and throws her into the pool, killing her. Cedric was the only one that witnessed the whole otherworldly event, so he is blamed for what happened. One by one, Cedric's friends are being hunted by the demonic entity they brought back with from the funeral. Rico is killed next when the soul from his handkerchief throws him against a wall in a gym's shower room. As soon as Cedric learns of Rico's death, he contacts Justin and Ashley and insists that they burn the clothes they wore when they went to the funeral. Determined to end the curse, Cedric decides to go back to Lucy's house to talk to her older sister, Eva. While he was on his way, he chanced upon Leni in the market and decided to follow her instead. While in the market, Leni sees the ghost of Roman, causing her to panic and run. Leni blacks out while being chased, and Cedric rescues her before Roman's ghost catches her. Cedric carries the unconscious Leni to his car and drives away. In the middle of the ride, Leni wakes up and panics, ordering Cedric to stop the car. Cedric hastily follows. They talk about the next steps that they should take and decide to team up to finish the curse once and for all. The pair head to Lucy and Roman's house only to find the coffin empty. They begin to search the house, and they see 3 human figures in the wall drawn in blood. Seeing as there was nothing more to do in the house, Cedric and Leni go to find Mac in the church. Leni's uncle Dencio arrives together with Eva to warn them and to reveal to the group that Mac is really Emmanuel, Lucy and Roman's son who was believed to have died. Eva tells them that during the fire, she went there to save the baby, in order for him to stay away from the demonic lives of his parents. Eva reveals that the body of Roman is in their old house, so Cedric and Leni immediately head over to find it. Back in the church, Mac is trapped inside. Eva tries to rescue him, but she is sucked inside a tomb, killing her. Meanwhile, Ashley and Justin had done what Cedric told them to do. Thinking that they have escaped the curse, the pair goes inside Ashley's house. Justin offers to make them a sandwich in the kitchen. Ashley panics, still scared of what might happen to her, but thinking that everything was supposed to go back to normal, she tries to take pictures of herself to overcome her fear. Upon looking at her photos, she sees in one of the images the face of the ghost. She is soon thrown to a mirror then falls down. Ashley is impaled by a falling chandelier and Justin, who was running away in the streets calling Cedric about it, was crushed by 2 trucks, getting sandwiched in between. In the church, Dencio is trapped inside his car when he plans to save Mac in the church. The spirit continues to taunt him, and he tries to give back the money he stole. He rolls down the windows and tries to get out, but is ultimately killed after his neck is impaled by a shattered glass of a car window. When Mac is able to get out of the church, he sees the spirits of the recently killed victims, warning them that Cedric and Leni are both in danger. He then follows Roman's spirit on the way to the house. The scene cuts back to Cedric and Leni finally finding the old house. It is where they find out that the spirit of Roman was actually sent by Lucy to murder the victims until he obtains 9 lives for him to be alive. It was Mac that rushes in to save them, but he is caught by Lucy and threatens to kill him. Before she does, they tell Lucy the truth about Emmanuel. The entity tries to kill Leni and Cedric, but Lucy intervenes and is impaled by a girder. After Roman finally reanimates from the dead, he rushes to Lucy, who reveals to him that she was pregnant, which killed their second child, and explains to him that their son is still alive before she dies from her wound. Enraged by her death, Roman attempts to kill Leni before being stabbed by Cedric. In the aftermath, Cedric arrives in the hospital to visit Leni and Mac. Within seconds of having fun, they see the apparitions of Lucy and Roman smiling at them eerily. The act of Pagpag is arguably one of the most famous superstitions still observed in the Philippines. Since it has been passed on from one generation to the next, even non-believers of superstitions, particularly of Pagpag, unconsciously head over to different places before heading home. There is no clear version as to what will happen to you if you do not observe Pagpag, but as seen in the movie, it won't be without consequences.